Welcome back to part two of our interview with Becky Bonaventura, co owner of Home Gym Action Plan. If you didn't listen to part one, make sure you hit that pause button and go check out episode 134 first. You don't want to miss it. For those that did listen, just to recap, we talked about what holds most moms back from exercising. Becky shared some realistic tips to help us fit fitness into our already crazy schedules. We talked about how to get motivated to just start, which is the hardest step for most of us, how to find space in your home that motivates you to get your workout on, and some simple mindset shifts you can make to convince yourself you can do it. And most importantly, how to be kind to yourself in the process. That darn comparison we are all guilty of. I also shared my Make Over Your Mornings freebie that will help turn your morning chaos into calm and will hopefully help you create that time and space to fit in a little morning workout. Make sure you check out the show notes for the link. Now let's jump back into part two of my conversation with Becky. Are you feeling overwhelmed trying to juggle all the many hats you wear as a working mom? Do you want more quality time with your family without distraction of work and time alone to take care of yourself and your needs? Welcome to Mom Wife Career Life. I'm Kerri, a wife, mom of three, and a recovering perfectionist. In this podcast, I will teach you how to create balance in your life by implementing healthy habits, organizing your home and your schedule, being intentional with your time and in your relationships, and most importantly, how to start putting your needs first because no one can pour from an empty cup. Grab that second cup of coffee, or if you're anything like me, your third. It's time to dive into today's episode of Mom Wife Career Life. This is part two of our Fit, Focus, and Balance series with Becky Bonaventura. And just a little bit about Becky. Becky has gained a wide variety of experience in the field of athletic development. She has worked with youth, high school, college, and adult athletes in one-on-one, small group, and team settings, spanning the facility gamut from outdoor and minimalist to state-of-the-art college weight rooms. She has worked with individuals and teams competing at the highest level of collegiate athletes, as well as adults looking to get back into a healthy routine after time spent prioritizing other good and important things like starting a family and building a fulfilling career. Becky's mission as a coach is to effectively communicate to those in her sphere of influence how capable and resilient they are by helping them break down their goals into attainable steps in a way that builds them up and grows their confidence and future performance. So let's jump back into where we left off yesterday. What is your best advice for moms who have fallen off the wagon with their fitness goals and maybe are struggling to get back into a routine?
I think my biggest advice would be to think long term, dream long term, and then act now. Kind of tying back into what we talked about earlier. Think about the mom, the aunt, the grandma that you want to be, and then ask yourself, what needs to be true today for you to become that best version of yourself? It's so important to have that long term vision, I think. And then just again, what can you do today? What is that small thing that will get you one step closer to that goal? And I feel like one thing, especially with moms, is I'm almost hesitant to say, what mom do you want to be? Because that's all talking about moms in relation to other people and how they want to show up for others. And I think it's really important to do that, but also just to recognize, like, who do you want to be? Like when you're 50, when you're 60, what do you want the latter part of your life to look like? And all of us are headed in that direction. Okay. If we're lucky, we're headed in that direction. But the little small steps that we take today are going to make that later portion of our life so vastly different. We're going to have so many more options if we commit to the health and wellness portion now, backpacking Europe with your daughters, or, going on a friend's trip and, hiking a 14,000, footer, those types of options that if you take care of yourself now, it's, oh yeah, let's do it. But if that is not an option, I know pickleball is the huge craze, if you keep yourself fit, you can play pickleball in your retirement, but those types of things. What do you want the quality of your life to look like? What do you want to do with your free time? And then making sure that what you're doing this week really aligns with having that future as a possibility.
I absolutely love that. And so when I hit 40, it's like things just started to hurt in my and I would go to the doctor and be like, "Oh, this hurts, that hurts." And his answer was, "Well, you're 40." And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm 40?" I'm like, "No, fix it." And he's like, "Well, no, once you're 40, things just start hurting. Things
Yeah.
just stop working." And, now I'm creeping on 44, as much as I hate to admit that, and I feel it. And it was a big reality, like, wake-up call this summer of, going on vacation, and the weight went on, and I used to be able to just go back to eating healthy and the weight would come off, and it's, my metabolism's starting to change. I feel the hormones starting to change. My body's starting to change, and I'm really committed to getting ahead of it. But I think one of the struggles is, an injury. Like, I have problems with my
Yep.
hip, and we had this great workout program. And after going to Greece and being on flights for too long, my hip really aggravated. And I feel like you really helped motivate me to not use that as an excuse. So, what's some advice that you can give to moms, like when something like that happens, to not fall into it as being an excuse and putting their fitness on the back burner because of like a small injury?
Yeah, I would say just focusing again on what you can do. It's so easy to just be like, I have something going on, with my leg. I'm not going to do any lower body. It's like, well, we have two legs. Can we do something with single leg? If you have some back injury, that makes it even more challenging because that exercises for the upper and lower body are involved. But focusing on what you can do, and sometimes what you can do is scheduling the doctor appointment. Sometimes what you can do is scheduling the physical therapy appointment and realizing that someday that doctor appointment, that same time slot is going to look like a pickleball session. Sometimes it's going to look like an awesome weightlifting session, but that is the 5-minute thing you can do. Pick up the phone and call and start on that path towards feeling better. It's not the fun part, certainly, but it is really a critical step towards your long-term path to fitness.
I'm laughing at this again because Becky's asked me probably every week, "Did you make the doctor's appointment for your hip?" And I will say, I made it a point to make the appointment yesterday. So that way, when I talk to you today, I could be like, "I made the appointment."
Let's go. Let's go. No, like that's one of the things with action plan is I literally put it in each of the programs that I write for my clients is I can't do the work for you. Like I'm here to help you be the expert in your back pocket. I'm here to cheer you on, give you advice, help you out if you have any pain, discomfort. But ultimately, I feel like the power of what I do is that I'm trying to empower women and show them and men and show them that they can do it. All they need is an action plan. They have their goals. We're going to create this 6-week plan. And then you have everything you need when it comes to home gyms. You have already made the investment in your home gym. You just need a little bit of guidance from a professional, and we can set you free and really give you the confidence to be able to move forward and know that what you're doing is safe and it is effective. And if you have any questions or run into anything in the future, you're a text away from getting an answer.
And I know you already just kind of touched on it, but if you want to go in a little deeper, what makes Action Plan different than a regular personal trainer?
I think what makes action plan different is just the hybrid structure of it. So in developing this business, I work full time, and so I knew that I had a passion for this, but I needed it to work with my schedule. And I also know that there's so many busy professionals that want to work out on their own time, and that may be different each day. And just the added hassle of scheduling a personal training appointment and having to stick with that appointment is a challenge for a lot of working adults. And so with Action Plan, there is an in person assessment to make sure that I know all of the equipment that is available for the sessions for the client's workouts. But I'm also able to do a physical assessment. We're able to talk through medical history, and I have a full picture of the vision and challenges that each client has. And then we're able to do an additional personal training session or two. Then it is a program that the client is provided with that they can do on their own time in their own home, and they don't have to go to a gym. They don't have to make a specific appointment, but I will check in because I do make sure that I know when clients want to work out, if it's 7 a.m., if it's 8 p.m., whatever the time. So I'm able to provide that accountability and check in and provide some video to make sure that they have some reminders of what the exercise technique should look like and should feel like. But it allows more freedom for the client in that it's a structured plan, it's individualized to them, but they can do it on their own time in the comfort of their own home.
I love it. And any other last fitness tips or advice for working moms that are just trying to get started?
I would say find a friend that has similar goals. And if you can ever work out together, I think that's super encouraging. If it's, you're wanting to be more active, maybe you can meet up for a walk or go for a weekend run or something like that. But if you're not able to meet up with them, because I know syncing up schedules can be really challenging, just letting people know what you're doing. I think sometimes posting on social media, just that you're doing the workout and tag a friend and then have them do the same thing. The more that you can be creative and also put your goals out there. Even if the goal is to walk 20 minutes or to close your rings on your Apple Watch, whatever it is, to put your goals out there just adds a layer of accountability. And hearing yourself say those words, whether to yourself or to your partner or to your friend, it just makes it more real and tangible and something that you can reach for now that you've identified it as a goal.
I love it. I'm all about having accountability partners. And then just a fun question, being that you are a full-time working mom, that you're starting to build this wonderful business on the side. How do you manage it all? What is your number one time management tool or tip that you want to share with us mom?
I love the Tasks app. It's within Google Calendar. And so I love that when I have my Google Calendar open, I can also have that as a sidebar and I don't need to have two different tabs open. But then it is also its own separate app. So on my phone, I'm able to have probably more lists than I would like to share, but it keeps my brain organized. And whenever I have something pop into my head of a to do item, I can put it into my full time job list. I can put it into the list for action plan. It can be a personal to do. I need to, pick up more milk, whatever it is. And that way I can also in that app schedule it to pop up on my Google Calendar so that I get the notification on my Apple Watch so that at a specific time I know, oh yeah, I need to do this because I have so much going on and I love it this way, but I also need reminders on what I need to do in that moment. So that really keeps me sane. It keeps me on task. And that way, when I do have a down moment, I know that this is my time block for this. Let me just open up and that, the first three things, those are my priorities for this 2 hour block.
So I don't know how I didn't know that this little task list existed. Is it something you can share with your spouse? Like, can it be a shared task list?
That is something to look into. It absolutely is. I know for sure Google Calendar you can share, but with the tasks, I'm not sure if you can share it. I've only used it for my personal individual calendar, but that is something that I need to look into.
That is something I'm going to look into because if I could start putting my grocery list there and just be like, share, that would be a game changer for
There
me.
you go. There you
So
go.
that's my homework for the week. So, where can my audience find you?
They can find me on Instagram as well as Facebook. Also, something that will be coming out in the next month or two will be demonstration videos on a free public YouTube channel. So I am very excited for everyone to be able to experience Action Plan through that platform. So that is coming up soon. But until that time, any of those channels at Home Gym Action Plan on Instagram, Action Plan on Facebook, and then also our website, homegymactionplan.com. That would be the best place to go just to find out a little bit more about the company, what we're about, how you can get started, as well as the background about our team and what the options are.
Awesome. I'll link all of that in the show notes, but I know you do in person training. So, why don't you tell the audience where in New Jersey? What is your service area?
Our service area is central New Jersey. My partner and I, we are in the Union County, Middlesex County area. And so not going to California, but anywhere local in New Jersey, especially given the hybrid format, we're able to travel a little bit outside of, just our home base here in Union and Middlesex counties.
Awesome. Well, I loved having you in the show. I love working with you. I love everything you stand for, everything you're about. And I really hope that if you're in the local area that you check out Becky's services.
Thanks, Kerri.
Awesome. I really want to help you on your work-life balance journey, especially getting fitness back into your schedule. So if you haven't already joined our Facebook community, come on over and hang out with us at Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. And if you don't already follow the show, take a second and hit that follow button so you never miss another episode. And if you have an extra minute, I'd really appreciate it if you could rate the show so we can help more moms like you find balance in their life too. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat. Before you go, if you found this podcast helpful, I would be so grateful if you would take a minute, go on over to iTunes and leave me a review. If you have other stressed out mamas in your life that you feel this podcast could help, take a screenshot of this episode, post it on your Instagram stories and tag me, and let them know that they are not alone and they can create balance in their life too. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover or you just want to connect, DM me on Instagram at mom.wife.career.life. Or come on over and hang out in our free Facebook community, Work-Life Balance for Working Moms. Sending you so much love and light until next time on Mom Wife Career Life with Kerri Pat.